Hello guys, I'm Randy from Rhandz Graphix, After Effects tutorial channel, teaching you in your graphic motion and animation journey. I understand guys that it's not easy to learn how to develop these skills, but if you like more videos like this, make sure to subscribe so that you will be notified if there are new videos released, and you can download the project file in the description given below so you can follow along with me. You can download the tutorial template if you like. You can find it on the end screen, okay? So now I'm gonna show you what we are gonna be making today. So here we are now in After Effects. All I have to do is to create a new composition, and I will name it Transition 1. I want it 4K, 3840 by 2160 pixels. The frame rate is 30 frames per second. The duration, I will just change this to 6 seconds. And then click OK. Enable the title action shape and go to view. Enable the rollers and also make sure that the snap to guides is enabled. We will create a guide here just like this. Make sure that one of the guide here should be at the center, and then also create on the vertical. It is not necessarily that you will follow how big is my guide here. It's up to you guys. What is your really options? Now go to your layer and create a new solid, and I will name it Shapes 1. And I will click OK. Grab your shape tool, make sure the layer is highlighted and make a mask like this. Highlight the layer again and make the second mask. Every time you make mask, you have to highlight the layer. Now highlight the mask, expand it, make a keyframe on the stopwatch here to create an animation on the mask path, and move your playhead to about 1 second. Change the shape on each mask at the bottom to 0. Highlight the second mask, open the shape, change the bottom to 0, and again highlight the mask 3 and open the shape and change the bottom to 0. Do this to the rest of the masks. And I will close it all and press U in my keyboard to reveal the keyframes, and then highlight all these keyframes. Press F9 to easy it. Open the graph editor, highlight these points here and grab it on the left side like this, and also this one, grab it on the right side. Then I will add 2 frames and highlight these keyframes here and move it to offset my animation. And I will again add another 2 frames, drag these keyframes here. Do this also for the rest of your mask. I want to have a little bit of variation in my animation. So I will move my playhead to 2 seconds and move this keyframe on that time duration, and then move my playhead back to about 25 frames. Move these last 2 keyframes on that duration. Again, I will move back my playhead to about 20 frames and move this on that duration. So as you can see here now, there's a nice variation. So now I will close this one and duplicate this layer, bring it down, go to layer, and first you will transform it vertically and go back to layer and transform it horizontally. So now this is what we got. Nice, eh? I will highlight these two layers, right click my mouse, pre-compose it. I will name it shapes comp. I just want to put one on it. Move all the attributes into the new composition, click OK. Then I will duplicate this, go to edit, duplicate it. I want these duplicated compositions at the bottom. Go to effects and preset, fill. I will change the color here and I will just type the code 3F0770 and click OK. Move my playhead to about 2 frames and press open bracket key to move that composition. When we scrub our playhead, but I have to open the pre-comp again, turn on the motion blur. So you can see here, there's already a motion blur. So now I'm gonna go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it placeholder 1. And I will click OK, and I will open my project panel and open this folder assets, expand the image, and I will highlight this image and drop it down into my timeline. I will just drag it down a bit, and then I will go to composition again and create a new composition. I will name it text 4K and I will click OK. I will grab my text tool and I will type clean modern slideshow. I'm using Carter 1 font, regular, and 150 pixels. I'll just center it horizontally and vertically. Make sure that you are not highlighting this layer. I will grab my shape tool and draw a shape like this. And I will just temporarily put it down here so I can see the text, and I will align it horizontally and vertically. Now go to your composition and create a new composition, and I will name it text transition. Click OK. Now I will duplicate this transition one. Go to your project panel and highlight this pre-comp one, duplicate it, and double click your mouse to open it up. You have to interchange the keyframes from right to left and from left to right, and just move it temporarily on this side here. Then go highlight these keyframes, move it on the 1 second duration, and move your playhead at the beginning of the timeline. And probably I'll just have to move my keyframes here, highlight it all, drag it at the beginning of your timeline. So now scroll down, highlight all these keyframes and move it on the right side, and then highlight this one too and move your playhead on the 1 second duration and move it on that duration. And then first I will just adjust this one here closer to the other one and highlight it all and drag it to the beginning of your timeline. Move your playhead here so that you will adjust this flush to the other keyframes that you put it in here. Okay, so I will close this one and open the transition 2. So now you have to change this pre-comp 1 to pre-comp 2. Press Alt on your keyboard and hold it, and then replace this pre-comp 1 to pre-comp 2. So now I have to highlight this pre-comp 2 below and drag my layer here and highlight the pre-comp above, drag it on the right side, probably 2 frames. Go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it media 1. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and the duration is 6 seconds. Click OK. Then I will drop down this text animation 1 into my timeline. Then I will drop down the transition 2. Press S on my keyboard for the scale. Scale this transition down. Disable this scale proportion and I will narrow it. I think that should be good enough. Then move my play to about 1 second. And I will move these two compositions by pressing open bracket key. So press P on your keyboard for the position and move the position of the text according to your choice. I will disable the title action save and change the resolution here to quarter. I will go back to my project panel and drop down this placeholder 1 and also drop down this transition 1 into my timeline. As you can see in here, nice, eh? If you are not satisfied with your text animation, just highlight both the compositions, move forward your playhead to about 2 seconds, press open bracket key to move that compositions. So when we scrub our playhead, you can see that the time duration of our text animation has changed. This is what we want, okay? So now I will go to my project panel and create a folder. I will name it scene 1. And I will highlight these compositions, move it on that folder. Again, I will create another folder and I will name it scene 2. And then open my scene 1 folder, highlight all these compositions and go to edit, duplicate it. I will drag these duplicated compositions to my scene 2 folder. I will close the scene 1 folder and I will double click my mouse to open these scene 2 compositions. Open placeholder 2, delete this image and open the folder assets. Go to image, drop down this image into your timeline, drag it down a bit. Go to text 2 and double click your mouse to change the text. I will change the text to fast render. I will change the font size here to about 200. I will scale the shape down. Press S on my keyboard for the scale. Disable the scale proportion. Just narrow this shape a bit. I think that should be good enough. I will close it. Go open Precomp 3. Just delete this shape. Press U on your keyboard to see the keyframes. And then highlight all this mask. Go to edit and delete it. Go also to view. Clear the guides because we will make another new guides. Like this. Then be sure that this layer is highlighted. Grab your shape tool and draw a shape like this. Then highlight all the mask, expand it. Move your playhead at the beginning of the timeline. Create a keyframe here to make an animation. Open the shape, change this to 3850. Click OK. One by one here, you have to change it, make it 3850 on the left side. And then move your playhead about 10 frames and again change the shape here to 2040. Then move to 20 frames and again change the shape from left, change it to -180 and on the right change it to 2040. So do this to all the masks below. Move again your player to about 1 second. Change the right to -45. And then you have to close it. Press U on your keyboard to see the keyframes and highlight all these keyframes. Press F9 to ease it. Open your graph editor, highlight all these points, change the points like this. And also on this side, drag the handles on the left side. to the center. I will add 2 frames and highlight these keyframes and move your keyframes on that position of your playhead. I will again add another 2 frames and highlight these next keyframes and move it forward. Add another 2 frames, highlight these keyframes and move it just flush to your playhead. There you go. So now I will close this one and highlight it, go to edit and duplicate it. Drag it here. I will highlight the bottom, go to effects and preset, go to generate and fill. I will change the color here to 3F0770 and I will click OK. As you can see here, there's no purple here, but if you will probably move this bottom to about 1 frame, now you will see. Now turn on the motion blur so that it's nice to look at. If you want to make this purple on the other side, all you have to do is move this layer up and move the layer forward 1 frame. So now it's on the other side. Precomp 4, delete it. Go back to project panel and go to Precomp 4 and also delete it. Highlight this Precomp 3 and duplicate it. Double click your mouse to open it up and now you can see that our Precomp 4 is different. This Precomp 4, we will use it as our transition for the text, okay? Delete the shape and open the shape 1 here, expand the mask and delete all the mask. So we will again make another mask here. Be sure that it is highlighted and grab your shape tool, create a mask again here. Now highlight all the masks, expand it, make sure that the playhead is at the beginning and create a keyframe. So open the shape 1 by 1 and change this right to 0. Do this to all the layers down like this, change this to 0. Now move your playhead to about 1 second. Change the shape in here, 3888. Click OK. Do the same here, down. Change the right to 3888. Then I will close it all and press U on my keyboard to see the keyframes and highlight it all. Press F9 to ease it. Go to your graph editor, move your graph as shown. Just like that. Add 2 frames, highlight these keyframes and move it forward. Do the same also on the other masks. Okay. If you don't want it and you want it opposite, all you have to do is to go to layer and transform, flip vertical. Now you can see it's inverted. Duplicate this one and I want this bottom, change its color. Go to effects and preset, go to generate and fill. I want to change the color to the same code that I have typed earlier ago, 3F0770. Click OK. Move my playhead to about 1 frame and press my open bracket key to move that layer. Now if you will scrub our playhead, you can see that there's a purple there now. So all I have to do is to open the transition 4, go to my project panel and replace this precomp 2 to precomp 4. Press my keyboard alt and hold it. Replace the precomp 2 to precomp 4. So we'll try to scrub our playhead. We will just take this other precomp 4 because it's too big. If we will do it twice, only one precomp 4 is okay to me. Move this the beginning. So now open the text animation 2 and also replace this open text animation and replace all the compositions in here. So all I have to do is to press my keyboard alt and hold it and replace the transition 2 to transition 4. I will change this text 1 to text 2. Transition 2, I will change it to transition 4. So now you can see that it has already been changed. Open media 2 and replace all these compositions in here. Press the keyboard alt and hold it. Highlight this placeholder 1, replace it with placeholder 2. Transition 2, replace it with transition 4. This text animation 1, change it to text animation 2. Transition 1, change it to transition 3. So now we will scrub our playhead. If you can see this shape here, it's wider than the text we have. Just highlight this transition 4, press S on your keyboard for the scale, narrow it a bit, just enough to fit with the text layer we have. It's different from our original, so it's gonna show you a different animation on our text. Okay, now I will go main 2 and I will replace all the compositions in here by pressing my keyboard alt and hold it. Highlight the placeholder 1 and change it with placeholder 2. This text animation, change it with text animation 2. Transition 1, I will change it to transition 3. So now let's see what happens. Yeah, highlight this placeholder and I will create a mask. Take the pen tool and I will draw a mask like this. Then I will expand this placeholder 2 and expand the mask. I will move my playhead to the beginning of my timeline. Create a keyframe. I will highlight this placeholder 2. Move this mask on the other side. Create this mask and animate it. So when the shape is appearing, all you have to do is to adjust your mask on top of it. Go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it final. (3840 by 2160 pixels, 30 frames per second and 10 seconds duration. Click OK. I will open the scene 1 folder. I will drop down the main one in here and also the main 2. I will drop it down into my timeline and move my playhead to about 4 seconds, and I will press my keyboard open bracket key to move that layer. Now let's see if I will play this, what happens. Nice. If you see this one, all you have to do is to go back to the main 2 and make the mask bigger. So we will go to final again and check it out. There you go, it's gone, right? I will open the assets folder, go to footage. I will drop this RGB key in my timeline. Press T for the opacity, make this 50%, make the blending mode add. So now we are done with our tutorial, and I hope guys that you learned from it and enjoy watching this video. And for those people who subscribe my channel, thank you very much, I appreciate it a lot. And for those people who are not yet subscribing my channel, please subscribe, like and comment if you want, and press the notification bell so that you will be updated to all the video that I'm gonna be uploading. So my thoughts for today guys is that just possess perseverance and never give up. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next tutorial. God bless us all.